NBA 2K24 is here, and I made the best build on day one. When people first saw this builder, they said you couldn't make a demigod. They said your build couldn't do everything anymore. But when you see the build I made, you're gonna want to make it and you're gonna realize you can still do everything. Trust me, you don't want to just skip to when I finish the build, because I go over every rating, why I did it, and the badge threshold. I know some of you guys are just gonna skip to the end of the video, see the build, copy it, see if you like it, but trust me, you're gonna want to listen to why I went certain ratings. I explain why and the badge tiers that you unlock at that rating and why I went it. All right, let's not waste any more time. I'm going to show you guys the build, but before I do, if you're new to the channel and you want to see more NBA 2K24 videos with this build specifically, make sure to subscribe and drop a like. Both help me out a ton, but let's get into it. All right, so let's get into the actual build. Now, first things first, you're just going to create your own build, make your name. I go left-handedness on everything. That's just personal preference, but every year I've gone left-handed. You just go what's comfortable. And now to the important stuff. I tested 6'5". That was the original height I wanted to go with, but I quickly realized 6'6" just gets you so many more attributes. This is definitely going to be the best height this year for the amount of attributes you get, and you'll see why. Now, for your weight, I did 190 pounds. I'm going to be completely honest. This only changes a few of your attributes, and you don't even max those attributes out, so it doesn't really matter. And wingspan, you go down to 6'8", and I will explain why here in a second. All right, so look, the first thing that we're going to do is probably the most important attribute, what everybody wants to see. That's your three-point shot. Remember, 6'6", and you put this three max 92. That's why you go 6'8" wingspan, because that's the longest wingspan that you can get a 92 three-point shot. And the reason why you go 92 three-point, it's very simple. Silver limitless. You see, you go down to 91, it goes down to bronze, you go up to 92, it's silver, and you're probably thinking 92 three-point, this build probably can't do everything. Well, you just watch. So the next attribute I'm going to do is ball handling, and we're going to max this out as well to a 93. Now, at a 92 ball handling is where you'll unlock handles for days, speed booster, the important ones. But you see, once you put this up to a 93, you get gold killer combos and Hall of Fame ankle breaker, two really good badges that go up a tier just by changing this one. I think it's worth it. Now stick with me because you're gonna get way more badges. You're gonna want to put your speed with ball up to an 83, and the reason why 83 is because you're gonna be able to get speed booster on gold. And just to finish up this badge, you're gonna want to put your speed to an 82, and you're gonna want to put your acceleration to an 87, because that's what gets you the gold speed booster, which I think is gonna be one of the most important badges this year. It's gonna make you speed boost faster, which everybody knows is just super important to getting open. Now let's just go ahead and do it. 99 stamina. I tested with 96 because that's all you need for gold handles for days, but you don't lose anything for 99 stamina on this build. I just had a few extra points at the end and I ended up putting it on stamina, so this build will have 99 stamina. Now let's go over to driving dunk. This is an 85. So yeah, you have an 85 driving dunk, which unlocks all of the good dunks. Trust me, every good dunk that isn't like absurdly expensive that you need like a mid 90s dunk, you get with 85. And that's why you also have a 65 vertical, because you need an 85 driving dunk and a 65 vertical to unlock so many good dunk packages. The best one, which is LeBron, you see 84 driving dunk and 64 vert. You unlock that on this build, and that's what I think will be the key dunk package this year. So I know you're looking at this build probably thinking, well, you're not going to be good defensively. Well, that's not the case, because you put your perimeter defense to an 85, you put your strength to a 50, and look at all the defensive badges you get. All these silver defensive badges, obviously fast feet, challenger, clamps, pick dodger are probably the most important ones, and they're all on silver. So you're 6'6", with all these silver defensive badges, you'll be fine defensively. And then just to make it even better, you want to put your steal up to a 60, where you will unlock bronze interceptor. Now, I can't stress enough how big of a difference having like a 40 steal and no interceptor compared to a 60 steal and bronze interceptor is. This will make a very big difference. And at this point, the build is basically done, but you're probably looking at pass accuracy, it's low. Well, you put that up to a 77, so you get bronze needle threader. You will get silver dimer, these badges which are decent, not great, but a 77 pass accuracy is good enough. Remember, this is a 2s, 3s build. You don't need super high pass accuracy. This is really, really good. And then to basically finish it off, you see driving layup is a 73. You see Giant Slayer right here. Just put this up one to 74. and you now unlock Gold Giant Slayer. So as you notice, a big thing about these ratings are the badges you unlock, and I'm going to talk about them right when I show you what I finished this build off with. It's basically done. You see you're a 98 overall. So what I ended up doing is I just put my interior up to a 50, and the reason I did that is because the difference between a 25 interior defense and a 50 interior defense, it should be a lot. I mean, it's basically double. So if you do end up being in the paint and you need to get a stop, maybe that 50 interior defense will make a difference. Trust me, no other rating that you do will really change. You can put your speed up if you want. You can max out your excel, put your speed with ball up a little bit. I think that I would rather just do 50 interior, and then you have literally one attribute left. And so I tell people I don't have a 25 block. Let's throw it on that. And that's the build. That is the build, 99 overall. I'm going to go over it one more time and explain why I have every rating. Listen closely if you want to understand why I made this build exactly how I made it, because I took about 2 hours in the builder to do this. All right, so first things first, we're going to start off with driving dunk. You have an 85 driving dunk, which also ties into a 65 vert, because that's where you unlock a lot of the really good dunk package is with that threshold. Originally, I only had an 84 driving dunk and a 64 vertical, because that's what you needed to unlock LeBron. But you just get so many more dunks by adding one to each that I couldn't resist doing it. Next is the 92 3-point. We all know what this does. Silver, limitless range. With a 92 3-point, you will not miss open. And look at all these gold and Hall of Fame shooting badges you get. You're basically a sharpshooter that has an 85 driving dunk, and then to the next rating, a 93 ball handle. And I already went over this, but the reason I went with 93 instead of 92 is because right there, killer combos and ankle breaker, they just go up a tier. I'd rather gold killer combos and silver, and I'd much rather Hall of Fame ankle breaker than gold. The 83 speed with ball makes it so that you get both gold blow by and gold speed booster and gold hyperdrive, actually. So you see all three of these badges just by being 83 go up gold, which will make a big difference. I went 77 pass accuracy for the bronze needle threader. I think 77 is a great number. It's not too low. It's also not amazing, but it's good enough for what you get out of this build. An 85 perimeter defense for clamps, all these silver badges. You see, you put it one lower, you don't have clamps bronze, and we all know clamps is literally the best defensive badge in the game. So you put that to 85. You also needed your strength on a 50 to get clamps. So that's where those two ratings tie together. A 74 driving layup just so you can get Giant Slayer from silver to gold. One rating doesn't matter that much for that difference in the gold tier. I went 82 speed for gold hyperdrive. Originally I had this at 80, but you see you have an 80 speed, you only have silver hyperdrive. You just put it up 2, your player will be faster off ball, and you get gold hyperdrive, which will make a big difference when you're trying to drive past a defender. I went a 60 steal because a 60 steal is good enough to play passing lanes, plus you get bronze interceptor, which should make a big difference when playing passing lanes. The difference between bronze interceptor and silver is crazy. You need to go from a 60 steal to an 81, and you just don't have the attribute points in a build like this with this much stacked ratings. And then lastly, 99 stamina. Like I said, I originally had 96, so I could get gold handles for days, but you don't need the ratings anywhere else, so you might as well put that up to 99. And that's the build. This will be my day one build, unless, you know, someone finds out what the meta is very quickly. I'm probably going to be rocking with this build for a while. I haven't seen anybody top this. It's literally the 6'9" build from last year, but shorter. People didn't think you could make it this year, but you have a higher ball handling, you have a higher 3-point with way more gold badges. You can still dunk, and if anybody wants to think, you know, maybe I should have went an 86 driving dunk, a 70 vert to unlock bronze posterizer, I looked at the contact dunk thresholds. You just can't unlock the good ones. It's not worth it. This is the perfect 6'6" build that can do literally everything. And when you finish the build, this is what it should say. You have built a floor spacing slasher. I'd be lying if I said I loved the build name. It's not great, but you can't really control that. I think this is definitely the best overall build that I've seen. Now, normally that's where a lot of people would end the video, but every time I make my first build video, people always ask me, what do you think I should upgrade first? So let me show you guys that. All right, so to get him to 85 overall, I would assume half of you guys are probably gonna take him to my career. The other half are gonna take him to park. I'm probably gonna start off with my career. So first thing I'm gonna do is just max my 3-point, because that's what I'm going for first, is shooting badges. 3-point max, no question about it. Ball handle, I'll put up to, I don't know, maybe a 90. I'm just gonna fill this out and then I'll let you guys see what I end up doing. So this is basically what I'm gonna be working with. when I first get into my career. Like I said, I know some of you guys are going to go to park. You might want to switch up some things, but I wouldn't really switch up much. This is the best way to 85, and just to show you guys that this is 100% the build I'm making. Let's upgrade them. 190k. It's kind of wild, but there we go. 85 overall. My floor spacing slasher, what I think is the best build in the game right now. I think this is gonna be the meta build, unless, I don't know, unless ISO isn't meta and you just run around screen and shoot threes. But even then, a 92-3 should be good enough. But that's it. This is my first video on NBA 2K24, my first build. I recommend you guys make this. I think it's the best build in the game. If you guys did enjoy this video and you plan on making this build and you just want to see more 2K24 videos coming up this year, do not hesitate to subscribe, drop a like, and I'm out.